Welcome to Three People on a Couch. Today we have a very special guest, Kat Zammuto. Did I say that right?
You did.
Okay, kind of right. And she grew up in the entertainment industry, basically.
Yes.
And she's been in multiple fields. She is a writer. She's a podcaster. I don't even know what she haven't done.
AKA the starving artist.
Got some bread in the cabinet.
Yeah. Thank you. Maybe I'll take you up on your offer.
And we're so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm super excited. Thanks.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. And I mean, I've listened to your podcast and
Yes.
I love it, of course, because I love, everything when it comes to relationships, sex, dating.
Right.
I think we talked about it in our first episode, just briefly.
Yeah.
Because I'm so tired.
I think we went
of
over my
dating apps.
Hinge profile in the first episode.
We did.
Yeah.
No, yes.
I feel like dating is always a theme that comes up every single episode because it's very relelevant in all of our lives.
Yeah,
I
because
know.
everyone does it.
Yeah, I think
Unless
this
they're
is
married. Nah, they still do when they're married, actually.
And especially in LA.
In LA, you're always dating.
Seeking singles. What was it? Ashley Madison?
Seeking arrangements.
Seeking Arrangements or Ashley Madison was another site. Do you remember
Oh
that?
my God,
You-
yes.
it was a
Is
site
it
for-
still around? I forgot
think
about that
so.
one.
It was a site for married people.
It's the website's like have an affair.
Yeah, to
Ashley
have an
Madison.
affair.
Oh,
But
yes.
someone hacked
Now I
their data,
remember.
and all of the people that use the site, all their names got released.
Ooh.
And so all these people found out. Their wives found out. Their
Oh
families
my
found
God.
out. There was
Now
it
Ashley
was-
Madison is called Tinder, right?
That's the new one. Yeah.
You
Just
know,
don't ask. Don't tell.
do you know what I've seen on TikTok is actually people exposing other people's affairs. So there would be like, say a guy lives in LA, but he goes to Chicago to go see his mistress. Someone that like happens to be in a cafe, they'll be like overhearing and they'll be like, hey, if you're dating a Michael from LA, he's actually in Chicago right now cheating on you. And
Oh
they'll post
my
it.
God.
And
Wow.
these videos will get pushed to the top and get millions of views. So
Ah.
these guys inevitably
Who's
get exposed.
filming them?
Like a random TikTok person that
A random TikTok person
Really?
happens to be at the cafe where this guy's cheating. How does he know he's cheating on his wife?
because they overhear the context of the conversations, or they just kind of pick up on this is not the wife, this is the mistress, and they want to be they want to get justice for the woman that's being
I
cheated
kind of
on.
believe in karma. I don't think I want to get there.
Yeah,
I don't
no.
want to have nothing to do with that.
I just feel like if you want to cheat, just end the relationship.
I agree.
That's how I feel.
I agree
Or bring it up.
completely.
Say, are
Yeah.
you like, this is how I'm feeling. My needs
Yeah.
aren't being met. I don't feel
Yeah.
fulfilled. I'm considering other options, and then go from there. Because when you're
Yeah.
lying and you're operating secretively and have all that guilt,
Absolutely.
no one wins
It's
I
kind
think-
of weird.
except Ashley Madison.
Like you just at any moment you could be filmed and documented.
I
like
thought
at your
about that
worst
too.
moment.
That is-
you may be having a
Yeah.
bad day. Maybe you got fired
Yeah.
from work and you just having a really awful day and like you just lose it, and then that's filmed. Now that's on the internet forever.
Oh,
Exactly.
for
Forever.
sure.
And not only
Kinda
not only
crazy.
that, but when someone say, for example, like you're in LAX and there's a fist fight going down, the first reaction of people is not to intervene and help; it's to take their phone out and document it.
You know,
Yeah.
I thought about
That's
that
concerning.
because when I had just turned like 18 and was, I could drink for the first time. And I went out to the club and got a little bit too much. And then I took the subway home because this was in Sweden. And then I felt sick. So I walked off the subway. I'm so embarrassed. But now I'm saying it in podcast. And then I threw up in a trash can. And then I walked on the subway again. And then I went
Oh,
home.
everybody has one of those moments.
I know, but I was so afraid that someone would have filmed me and put it on YouTube for some reason. Like, my employer will see this.
Yeah.
I remember that was my
Yeah.
anxiety.
Yeah.
So that
It's
is
crazy.
insane.
We have no privacy.
the first time I
anymore.
ever drank, like sophomore year of high school, I remember I was at a party and I was like so nervous about even drinking because I had no idea what alcohol would do to me, and I'm gay, so I thought that if I got drunk, I would just start like spilling my guts. Ironically, I did
Oh.
spill my guts, but not in the verbal way. But I remember everyone was like playing cards, and I was like 2 beers in, just like vomiting everywhere. It's like, what did he take? They're
After
like,
2 beers?
they're like a Coors Light. yeah, because
Sophomore year of high school or college, you said?
high school. You know why? Because when you're nervous and you drink or you do any type of drug, it amplifies the effects much,
True.
much more. There's a statistic that people that are drug addicts, when they overdose, it's usually in an unknown environment. So they're in a new place that they're not as comfortable with, and the nerves amplify all the effects and it causes intoxication.
That
First
is
time
so
I
true.
drank, I was on a cruise. I think I was 16. And I got really drunk, and then my cousin dared me to sing Britney Spears' "Oops, I Did It Again" in front of like the cruise audience. And there's video evidence of this somewhere, and it's so bad.
Oh my God, I wish we found
Oh
that video.
God!
Do you remember your first time?
I was gonna tell you guys, I don't even remember the first time I
No.
got drunk. I'm pretty sure it was a very long time ago.
Well, so
I don't remember.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up here in LA, believe it or not.
Okay.
Because I was born in Brazil. My mom was Brazilian, but my dad was French and he hated Brazil. So, and he was a TV producer. So his work was all here, and we would go back and forth between here and Brazil. That I guess that's why I have the accent.
Right.
But yeah, I never really lived there.
Oh.
And then when I was 14, I just stayed.
So your first drinking experience was in America, then? It wasn't in
Uh,
Brazil.
in
I
LA,
th-
probably.
That's what that question-
yeah, I think
Huh.
so. Now I'm trying to take it back and try to remember it. But I think I was really young. I think I
Yeah.
was 14 or 15.
It's about
Something
the
like
age,
that.
yeah.
Because my birthday in Brazil, it falls on it's Carnival, like the first week of
Oh,
March
right.
every few years.
Oh,
So I think it was some crap like that. Like I decided to get hammered with my friend. And it was gin. This is what, now it's coming back to me. I drank gin. Gin fizz like gin and lemon. And I got so hammered. I was puking on the street or something.
Ugh.
To this day, I cannot even smell gin because
Gin.
it was so
Oh.
gross.
I remember the
Yeah,
last time.
I think that was the first time.
I remember the last time I threw up from alcohol, and it was in
Yeah.
college. This was the last time. I haven't thrown up since then. I drank, I want to say half of like the 1 liter of Fireball.
Oh, that is
Fireball.
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 I can't. I
Oh.
haven't touched it since.
That is the worst hangover.
Oh my god, that was the
ever.
last time I think I was really like drunk. And
Oh.
after that, I was like, I just.
Has anyone had UV blue? That like blue, very sweet liquor.
No.
No.
It literally tastes like candy, and it's 45% alcohol. I remember I was at a party
Oh.
drinking so much of that I had to be like fireman carried out of the party. Like my
Yeah.
legs just got knocked out.
I stick with the clear ones, like
Yeah.
vodka and soda.
tequila.
I don't drink that often. I have wine when I do.
Yeah, I'm a wine drinker
Beer
too.
bloats me. I don't know if that's because I have like stomach issues, but I can't handle beer.
Yeah, I don't do beer either. I don't like.
I like
it.
tequila because it gives an upper type of
Yeah.
stimulating.
Yep.
Have you wait? So you so Brazil and France.
Yes,
Did you spend any time in France?
I do a lot.
You
Yeah,
do now,
I
but as a
usually
kid?
always. Yeah,
Okay.
I grew up going to Paris twice a year,
Oh,
2-3
nice.
times a year.
The legal drinking age in Paris is
It's
it-
18, I
18.
think. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's 18
Should be.
It's 16
or
in-
16. I don't even remember.
I think it's. I mean,
Somewhere
in
it's
Sweden,
16.
it's 18.
It's
Because
18.
then it's 18.
I
for,
think
like,
in
everything.
I think in France it's 18
Yeah,
as
I think.
well.
So I think.
Yeah.
I think it's the same.
That makes sense though, because it's like, oh, you can join the army at 18, you can go to war at 18. Hey, you can't have a beer though.
This is
Few
the
more
thing.
years.
People here, the legal drinking age here is 21,
Yeah.
but every freaking college kid is
Of course,
drinking.
of course.
I had a fake ID when I was in college. I don't know if you guys did.
Oh,
Edit
yeah.
that out. No.
I had multiple fake ones.
I have one now, just so I can look younger. I'm like, hey, this isn't real. Oh, you caught me. I'm only 18.
I'm
I-
only 24.
I have one that says I'm 35, so I can run for president.
There you go. So
We all have our fake
I
ideas.
was at the food store yesterday. I was going to a friend's and I was buying alcohol, and they didn't ID me, and I was like, how old do I look? Because sometimes like my sister still gets ID'd, and she's 38.
I
She
do
gets ID'd every
too.
time.
I do too sometimes, and I'm in my 40s, and I'm proud of it because I think I look fantastic for my age.
You do. You do.
But when they card me, I'm like, I feel super flattered.
Yeah. That's
I'm
what
like,
I was like.
I do stories like, guys, I'm being carded on the look, they're checking my ID. Woohoo.
Guys, they're arresting me for a fake.
Fake
I
ID.
freaking love
Right,
it. I'm
yeah,
like,
of
are
course,
you serious?
yeah.
You think I look like?
It's like you get mad, I think, when you're like 21, 22, even 23. I probably know like 25, you
Yeah.
get annoyed. Like, oh. But then once you get in your 30s, you're like, oh,
Yeah,
yeah, of
yes.
course you can see
Please
my ID.
take it.
I love it.
You know, they put a black light on it, and they're like looking at you. They're like, oh.
Exactly.
But okay,
Those
but
days have passed for me.
I have a question though. I mean,
I have
it
an
seems
answer.
like great, but it's a question for Kat.
I don't
can
know
speak
if I
for
do.
her.
Let's go.
No, so
Question away.
I mean, it sounds amazing to be able to travel from here, Brazil, and Paris. It's like wow. But how was it to And you said you stayed here when you were 14.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
more permanently.
Permanently. Yeah.
And how was that too? Because I've always thought about how it is to be raised, like born and raised from a young age in LA, because it's a very
Everyone thinks you're from LA. All my friends who listen to
she
the podcast,
doesn't have an
you don't have an
accent,
accent.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
No,
she's
but-
from Sweden. They're like, no, she's not.
Yeah,
I'm like, no,
well,
she is.
But I mean, how it affects you mentally.
Sure,
because
sure.
it's LA is just a very special city, I would say.
I think it's not for everyone, but at the same time, yeah, for me it was always home.
Yeah.
Because when I was in Brazil for like a couple months, I didn't feel like I belonged there because my dad would literally yank me and bring me back. And Paris, yeah, to me is like, okay, my grandparents were there. I'm visiting, but I knew I wasn't going to live there. So every time I would be back here. And the thing is, I grew up like on TV sets, movie sets, working literally. So every time I was here, I felt at home. But I understand what you're saying. LA is not for everybody. A lot of people think there's only crazy people here. And what I tell them is, yeah, if that's what you think, move somewhere else. Go away.
There are crazy.
There's enough of us crazy artists here. And on the other hand, if you love it, you really love it, right? Like if it feels it's home to you. For a lot of people like me, I don't know if you guys feel the same, I cannot live without it. Like, I'll go away for a few years. My husband hated LA. So when I was married...
Oh, really?
Yes. I was married for 14 years to a guy from Boston, and he did not like LA at all. It was a big fight in our marriage. So we would go back and forth between Florida and Vegas and LA. And once the marriage was over, I ran back.
Yeah.
It's like, my first love. So I think it depends on each person, really.
That's so...
How often would you go, like, would you spend like a month in Vegas, a month in Florida? Or would it
Well,
be
my
longer?
husband was a gazillionaire. You guys can read the story. I'm going to plug my book, Yellow Roses, in June.
Yeah.
The whole story is there because it's a crazy, crazy story. And so we had a house in Las Vegas, and we had a place in Florida, and we had a place here. So we would just move around, whatever. Follow the weather, follow whatever the hell we wanted to do.
And that got tiring after a while.
He was an alcoholic, so maybe we shouldn't even get into that because this is a fun podcast. It's a super heavy subject, but yeah,
Okay.
14 years with an
Yeah.
alcoholic was enough.
Did you get to the point where you're like, my lifestyle is really great and everything I thought I might have enjoyed, but I can't stand this person?
Exactly. I think, well, it's a whole other subject because addiction is such a heavy subject, but you spend years thinking that the person is going to change for you. They're going to stop drinking for you. And then one day you wake up and you're like, you know what? They're not, because adults only do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And it just took me a very long time to get out of that situation. And it's a crazy, crazy story. Everybody that reads my book and knows my story, they're like, oh my God, this needs to be a movie, because you can't even believe it happens in real life, but it does. But anyways, yeah, so I'm just happy I think we can always start over, and you should be happy wherever it is that makes you happy. And in my case, it's crazy LA.
But I love that because first time I met you at Soho House,
Yeah.
I remember we connected because of our stories.
We lost our mom.
Yeah, because we lost people, and it's just amazing. And that's one of those things that I was like directly knew that I liked you, because you weren't afraid to bring up, the heavy things, but without making it heavy. Because it's one thing if you're, like you're really gonna say something hard and then you start crying and then you're like get avoidant, but you were really like, yeah, this happened. I'm here. It's been hard.
Yeah,
but
it's
here.
hard. I think it's phases, and I mean, we cannot even ever explain grief because it's something so deep and horrible. But in my case, I try to see light in every situation. That's always the message I try to send. Even like on my podcast, when you listen to horrible dating stories, like these men were complete assholes. Sorry, can I? I curse a lot. I'm sorry. I have like a dirty mouth. But then when I tell the story, I'm like, what am I gonna do? Cry and hide under the blankets, or we might as well make fun of the situation, right?
I love that.
I think it's just easier.
And that feels like a lot of comedians do that too.
Definitely. So you probably have a better, maybe a more gentle delivery to like your grief. I'll throw out like jokes about my traumatic experiences, and if people laugh at it, it makes me feel more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But some people will even feel uncomfortable even laughing at it, because I'll go for like the more dark type of things that people. Like,
I
"Whoa,
know.
like, I don't know if I should laugh. Or not.
Look, this is what I think. If people love your style, it should always be yourself, right? That's what makes your success. If people love your story and your style and they engage, good. If they hate it, that's what I always tell my audience. There is hundreds of millions of Instagram accounts, podcasts. Go watch somebody else, right?
Yeah, it's that simple. If this isn't for you,
Yeah.
there's the door.
Exactly.
Find someone that is.
Exactly.
So I want
yeah.
to talk about a little bit after you ended your were you married to this guy?
Yeah.
So after you ended your marriage, can you kind of take us through how you had this metamorphosis into finding yourself more? Because were you writing and creating during that, or was that kind of stifling your creativity?
I've
dealing with
always
these
been
issues?
an artist. Obviously, during the marriage, working was a huge problem because this was a guy that did not want me to work. By the way, I tell women that every freaking day. I don't care if your husband is a multimillionaire. Every woman should have the right to do whatever the hell they want.
Yes.
If it's a podcast, if it's anything. And there is a lot of issues because a lot of men, they're like, oh, I make so much money, don't work. So I cut back and I cut back and I cut back and I gave up a lot of jobs that I loved. I was working a lot as an actress here when we started our relationship. I was doing great. I was making a lot of money. And I cut back. So obviously when the marriage collapsed and everything, he ended up dying. It's a long story. I was like, you know what? I had like this epiphany. I need to go get moving and do everything that I love doing because now I need to make myself happy. And that's how I decided to move back. And I started the podcast in the middle of the pandemic and just picked up on all my projects. And here I am.
Are you still doing acting?
I do acting a little bit, yeah, here and there.
What of all the things you're doing do you find the most joy in?
You know, anything that is creative. I just love creating. Like even doing a podcast, like Amanda was saying, oh, we just started. We were sitting on the couch talking. I love organic projects. Anything that you do that I think comes from your heart, that is, you know, that is creativity, that doesn't keep me in a freaking office 9 to 5, I'm in.
Yes.
I don't care how much money you offer me. It would drive me crazy to like literally be locked up. I don't know how people do it, but some people do it. So I just love all aspects of, artistic projects.
Sure. Well, have you ever done theater before?
I've done theater when I was a teenager.
Okay.
That's how I think that's how I got my first acting job, through a theater in college. Yeah, so not ever since I was 18 or 19.
Do you also act like in Brazil at all? Like doing these projects there?
I never did anything in Brazil. I never worked in Brazil.
Okay.
When I go to Brazil, I feel like a tourist.
Yeah.
Me too, but I've never been.
Yeah, no,
Should we go to Brazil? We have a few friends there.
Have you been? Have you guys
I haven't
been
been
there?
to Brazil, no.
I think it's a great place
you?
to visit. No. Beautiful beaches, amazing, super friendly people.
And beautiful people.
Yes, yes. But I mean, I would not live there. I have no intention of working there. It's a little too chaotic, too crazy for me, too violent.
Worse than LA?
A lot worse.
The favelas. I was
A
gonna open Airbnb
lot
in the
worse than
favelas.
LA. A lot worse than LA.
Yeah.
I don't know. People talk about LA, and I wake up maybe I'm crazy. I see everything like so fantastic here. We pay more real estate and taxes because our weather is like freaking perfect, right? The palm trees. I don't know. I love it.
It depends. I just moved to Los Feliz, and there was like a hurricane 2 days ago.
There was.
Ask Steve.
I'm sorry.
I took a video.
That hurricane didn't go to Beverly Hills, right,
No,
Amanda?
no, it
Sorry.
wasn't there.
Like, Los
Didn't
Feliz has
happen.
its own weather patterns. I swear. Like I
Really?
called him. I was like, "Dude, how bad is it by you?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And I sent him a video because my fence. It was so windy. The fence was like blowing up through the air. The trees broke. I moved my
What, in
car
Los
because like, they're
Feliz?
falling down.
Well, it's because LA has the microclimates. You know, like you go to the valley, it's hot. The water,
Yeah,
it's cold. Hollywood's
yeah.
homeless. You have all your different little pockets.
Hollywood is homeless.
It is.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
the problem.
It is.
I don't trade it for anything.
I have another question for you, Kat,
Yes.
and that is obviously
Have you been to San Gabriel Valley for dim sum? That's what
No.
you asked, right? That was
not the question.
What's the question?
but no.
To where?
Exactly that's where?
You never been to San Gabriel Valley?
So
Uh,
no.
I don't think so.
We'll talk about
You
it.
probably have it. It's like Pasadena area.
I mean,
It's where the best dim sum is.
should we really go there? Like talk about the valley because I don't want to hurt the valley people.
Are you anti-valley?
I'm
It's not even
very
that valley.
anti-valley.
The other
It's
valley.
the other valley.
I don't
It's
care.
not
I'm
even
like,
San
I
Fernando.
normally don't do valleys, but I'm not sure if we should talk about that.
So
do valley.
where were you living when you grew
Wait,
up
hang
here
on. What
as
was
a
your
kid?
question? Sorry, Amanda.
Beverly Hills.
You grew up in Beverly Hills? Wow.
Yeah.
So you've been there your whole life.
I'm a Beverly Hills chick.
Damn.
I love it.
It's really nice.
What was your question?
So
Before I
my
cut you off.
was not about the valley. It was
Oh, did I
about
tell you about the time when I was? I'm just kidding. Sorry, go on.
So my question is, being married for 14 years, like even if it's like in your story, it's a little bit more of a tragic story because of the alcoholism. But I'm thinking about just being married for so long and then dating again after that. I mean,
It's
hard for
awful.
me to date. Like it's hard for me to date. And I have
right. And
not
you've never
been-
been married, right?
No.
Did you feel like you needed a break from it, or did you feel like I can't wait to meet someone new? Or were you when someone's like, "Hey, do you want to grab a drink?" You're like, "No, please, don't even bring me around
No,
alcohol."
I
can't
was
do it."
like, because I'm an eternal believer in love. I'm trying to find the unicorn. I believe in the prince and the fairy tale. I love it. I just love believing in love.
Yeah.
So, and that's how I started the podcast, because I started dating people and it was a disaster. Seriously. You guys can go back to season 1 if you want. You're going to laugh, but it was like, are you? Can I say
Yes.
fucking? Are you fucking? I got tangled up seriously with one worse guy than the other. I have like the worst
Wait, where were you
Valentine's
meeting
Day
them? Were
story.
you using an app?
No, like my one serious boyfriend, which is like the Valentine's Day from hell. It was nobody ever found a worse Valentine's Day story than this one. I'll tell you guys if you want. But I met him like through a bunch of friends. And he turned out to be like the biggest a-hole on the planet. So I tried different things and it was one worse than the other. I'm like, okay, I got to blurt this out on this podcast. And then I realized I started getting hundreds of messages from men, women.
From the podcast.
Like, oh my God, I have a story. Because honestly, all of us can relate. We all have something like a bad experience or a funny experience or something that happened to us.
Yeah.
Everybody has a story.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
So I thought, at least I'm putting my crap out there. If it helps someone to either not make the same mistakes or feel encouraged or discouraged, it's kind of a fun project. you
Yeah.
know?
Do you ever bring some of these people that messaged you onto the podcast?
I have not. I
You should. That could be
invited
fun.
them. Well, obviously, this is the thing. Most men, when I meet them and I tell them about the podcast, the first question they ask is like,
Will I be on the
"You're
podcast?
gonna talk about me?"
Yeah. Yeah. It's fair. It's a fair question. It's
I
a fair
mean,
question.
And this is the answer. If you're super nice, I might, but I never name names. And good for you, because I'm going to say something great. You're great in bed, or you brought me flowers, whatever. If you're an asshole, if you're a creeple, very likely I'm going to talk about you. But then
more
don't be
likely.
an asshole. Be
Right,
a decent human being.
Yeah.
And I am decent enough that I never name names or say anything that you can figure out who the person is. But it does intimidate. So yeah, it's tough dating me because I need a guy that is not intimidated by
Have you
it.
tried using a matchmaker?
Oh yeah. So
Oh, you have.
this is a super funny
matchmaker?
story.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen to this. When I started the podcast, season 1, I interviewed a matchmaker a bunch of times and she was super controversial. She said a bunch of crazy shit. And I told her, I said, yeah, really. And I told her, I was like, do you want to match me? We can show my listeners, right? Because a lot of people don't know how it is to work with a matchmaker. And she said to me, she's like, no way, I'm not going to dare try to match you. I'm scared because if you don't like the guy, you're going to tell your listeners that I did a horrible job. I'm not going to freaking do it. And I know, I was like, seriously, if you're good at your job, you should give it a shot, right?
Yeah. You said this to her on the podcast?
Yeah. No, I said this off the air.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And she was like, no, thank you, but no, thank you. Then this year, another matchmaker approached me. I interviewed this other one. And on air, she was like, I'll be super happy to match you. Let's go for it. So this is a ongoing. I went to 2 dates. They were both a disaster.
Where were the dates? Were they like at a bar?
One was he picked a super fabulous fancy restaurant at the Peninsula. I thought that was a very nice gesture. He was so nervous. He couldn't even look me in the eye.
Oh God.
Yeah, he was shaking the whole night. He was
blind,
super
but-
uncomfortable. Yeah.
That's another issue.
Yeah,
Except
he
then
was
walking
like-
to the wall.
I'm like, I know I'm pretty, but not this pretty.
So when a guy is nervous like that, does it immediately turn you off?
Immediately. I like guys with, I don't know about you,
Oh,
Amanda,
yeah.
but I like guys like
I
major,
mean, you're
strong
probably attracted to
personality.
your original husband because he was probably very dominant in some ways, very forceful, and like, hey, this is how it's gonna be.
Yes.
And then once you get to know him, you're like, wow, he's actually a piece of shit.
Exactly. Yeah, no, so
Actually-
Sorry to that man's family.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
so
not
true. But I
sorry.
think every girl, right? If you're having dinner with a guy, we want them to engage, right? Talk to you, look you in the eyes, not be like,
Oh yeah.
oh my god, you know.
So
I think that from my perspective, yes. When I go out with guys, I want them to be guys. I don't know. It's,
do you feel like guys should always
man.
guys should always pick up the tab, or they should split it, send an invoice the next
I
day?
think I think guys, and I know this is a controversial subject. I have asked my guests about it, but I think guys should pick up the tab not because of the money. Even if it's like Starbucks or an ice cream, I think it's the gesture.
yes.
At least for me, I'm super old-fashioned. I don't want to have a roommate. If it's best friends, like Amanda and I, or all 4 of us, it's different. But like my man, I want it to be a freaking man. Otherwise, why do we need them for?
You want to feel taken care of on that
Yes.
most primal level.
What if? Okay, I
I
have a question
do.
for you. Let's say you
Do
met a
you
guy.
too?
What?
Do you agree or
Oh
not?
yeah, I agree.
Let's say you
100%.
meet a guy and he's great eye contact, great
Yeah.
in bed, great everything you're looking for.
Yeah, great in bed, by
Except-
the way, has to be on top of the list. I like a lot
Okay,
of
number
sex.
1, that's that. He's number 1 in that. But let's say he's a struggling painter or something, not successful financially,
Yeah.
but respected. People know who he is, but no money.
I don't want to do that, and I'll tell you why. I respect struggling people, but my life is super full of problems and issues and projects, and I'm able to take care of myself and my 2 dogs. And I just don't want to have that. You know, I don't want a partner that is like struggling to pay the bills, and I just don't want that in my life.
Right.
No, because that can also, sorry to
Yeah.
answer too, but that can also become such a huge relationship problem.
Yes, exactly.
And
Finances.
just,
And
yeah,
also,
and just
if
like
she-
Finances,
fighting
yeah.
about it.
If she's financially excelling and he's not, that can also create that tension or
Yeah.
resentment.
And I
How
think
about
even
kids?
if I'm not, I think I like ambitious people by nature. I like people that are like, if you're struggling, get another job or work. Really, I
Yeah,
don't
but-
even know how many jobs I have. I work 7 days a week, like 20 hours a day, and I love it. And I think I respect every job, anything, doesn't matter what it is. But I think by nature, I like men and friends or anybody. I like being around people that have goals.
Sure.
So I don't think I would be turned on by a guy like that, honestly.
Do you
Sorry.
want a creative guy in the industry, or do you want someone in a suit, agent, producer?
I don't have like a type. You know, I want somebody who is not going to be bothered, because I've been criticized by my work a lot. I lost a boyfriend last year because of the podcast. I was dating an Italian guy, and one day he
Molto
decided to
bene.
listen to it, and yeah.
She's trying to bring meatballs into
Oh,
the
dude,
bedroom.
just hold on.
And he owned a fantastic Italian restaurant, by the way. Oh my God.
What he could do with
That was a
Prego.
major perk. But and so I don't want to be criticized. You know, I want a guy that says, go for it, do the podcast. If you want to take pictures naked, I don't care what you do.
Wait, hang
Are
on.
you doing
Backtrack.
that too?
Sometimes,
OnlyFans?
of course. No, I do it like, half naked. I
Okay,
deleted the
Instagram.
OnlyFans
Okay.
because of the Italian boyfriend. Because it was really good money. I was making good money on
That's
OnlyFans.
what I hear.
Wait.
I've
You did
actually-
OnlyFans.
Of course.
You spread completely.
I didn't spread. No,
Like
I
if-
think I would have saved that for like Playboy or some one of those.
Wait,
more
so
money,
many people
more
I'm
money.
meeting have done. So you still do
But
OnlyFans, or you
no,
don't?
so I was dating this Italian guy.
Uh-huh.
I deleted the freaking OnlyFans. I deleted the X-rated episode of the podcast. I started toning it down. Then one day I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, he's
Nah.
holding you back.
That's not good. I think as a woman, the message I send to other women is, you need to do whatever the hell you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's, to me, it's art. If you don't want to see naked people, don't look. If you don't want to talk about sex, listen to a different podcast. But I think whatever, if you're gay, I think you should talk about whatever the hell you want. If you're an artist, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think there should be any censorship.
There's 2 careers here.
Well, but it's
You're
true.
Goldman Sachs or you're a faggot. It doesn't matter.
But does it? Does it matter?
No, it doesn't.
I think, at least for me, it doesn't. I think there should be no censorship in a
should express
relationship.
So you
So
would
he found out about this, and this sort of he wanted you to stop it. So you stopped it initially, but then you felt
I didn't stop it. I deleted certain things. I toned it down.
My friend, his engagement ended because his girlfriend was doing OnlyFans, and he was supportive of it at first, but I think she changed a lot from getting that kind of attention, and they kind of drifted apart.
Yeah, it's a very personal thing. I tell you, and it's funny because my work life is very public. And I'm very private in my private life. Nobody ever sees like private moments. But as an artist, I think I want to do whatever I want. So I think a guy should date me. And I tell them up front, like, you know, I'm not going to stop. Like, as I get older, I'm going to do more and more sexy pictures because I think it's the opposite. You know, society always says like, oh, women should start covering it up. Don't show your body. Don't do this. I think it's bullshit. I mean, I look at this. As cheesy as it is, I look at J-Lo and Sandra Bullock.
the single ladies.
I freaking love her. I
Bianca.
think
Oh,
she's
you're right.
such a great role model.
Oh yeah.
She looks great though.
Exactly.
But it's also
It's just olive oil.
it's a
she
good
claims.
it's a good role model, but it's also a bad role model
Why?
in the sense that I feel like it like how much of that's natural. And then it creates like, wow, at 50 I can look this good, but like 10
you can.
naturally?
Yeah, you can.
I feel like people with like wrinkles
you're better.
and-
Like you can look you're better.
yeah.
It doesn't have to be like J-Lo or like anybody else. But you're supposed to look at yourself in the mirror and say, damn, I love what I see.
100%.
Exactly.
That's
And when
it.
you're happy and you're ambitious and you're on a high frequency, that's when you're the most literally attractive from a physics perspective.
Exactly.
And that's what's going to really draw
Are you a
people in.
physicist?
No, but I know that when someone's
According to my calculations.
obviously people care about looks and aesthetics, but someone that's very happy and on that high level, you feel attracted to them.
Exactly.
But do you feel? I'm sorry. I got trapped in a question, and I
You
realized
got
I
trapped?
ask it
You're
to.
Amanda's
to
trapped in a question.
I'm trapped.
Will she get revealed? Help Amanda
So-
escape.
Steve,
Yes.
who do you want to pay the check when you're on a date, or do you want the guy to? Yeah, because I had it, so I was like, I need to ask
Yeah,
Steve
good
this.
question.
What do you feel?
I would want to pay the check
the first
for
one?
the most part. I
For
know,
all of them?
We went to dinner on your birthday, and you picked up the tab, which was nice.
But you guys are not
Yeah,
dating.
But we're
no,
not-
nay,
we're
but
not
Oh,
dating.
he's talking about you and a guy.
yeah,
No,
if
I
you're
know.
on
We're
a
talking
date.
about dates.
Yeah,
I
dates.
know. So on a date, I would want to because I feel more comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
I don't like people. I guess it's like I don't want to feel like pitied in a way. So I don't like people giving me cash. Like
Paying
that.
your bill.
So the reason
Paying
you're
my
doing
bills.
it is because you don't want to feel pitied. That's the only reason. Then.
But if someone wants to split it too, I'm like, no, I have to pay.
What's most common when guys go on dates together? Is it just splitting?
Probably
The
split it,
splitting?
like
Splitting?
Oh, yeah?
on like preliminary first dates.
Isn't it
it's
like
easy-
who invites? Like if a guy invites you, he invited you and he pays.
I always assume I'm just gonna pick up the tab because then you sit there and you're just anticipating someone to pay, and I'd rather be the person, even if I have less money than this person, I'd rather be the person just throw my card there. And they're like, no, I insist.
Aw.
Like, fine.
That's not fair either.
I mean, yeah, because I just thought
You're doing
about.
it almost out of a sense of like you don't want to feel pitied.
You just don't want an awkward situation, and it's better to make that gesture first. And it's to me, it's not like a gender role thing. Like I don't want to be seen as a woman or the man or whatever. I'd rather just throw it down to as like a nice gesture, as avoiding an awkward situation and just keeping it moving. It's like no. I invited you. I insist.
Is
It's like-
there
it's like
any?
when I was-
is there any other like gender roles that you think is like different? Because I'm trying to think about when it's two guys, because I know my expectations of guys.
Do you,
What
has,
do you
has a
have?
guy ever asked you to pay the bill, to share the bill? It never happened to me.
No.
No, it happens. It happens with my mom. My mom is in her 50s, and she's dating again after being married and everything. And she always kind of like says she'll split, but it's almost like a test. And if they say like, okay, we'll split it, she doesn't like that at all.
Yeah.
So it's almost like it's set up as a test to see if they go for it. She wants the bill taken care of because again, it's a gesture of that there's interest there or whatever it is. This is, I guess it's just societal type of cultural norm. Same thing as like ladies' night and having the door held open for you.
Yeah.
But
do you want a guy to hold
I don't need a door held open for me, and I don't want to get in for free anywhere. I want to just be treated like an equal. You know what I mean? So I don't need like special treatment. I don't need the door held open for me unless it's like a...
I love these small gestures, do you?
Oh, yeah, I love them too. But I'm just thinking about, I mean, the gender roles, I think it's so interesting because like you said, I love them. I love those small gestures. It can really make a difference.
Yes.
And like you said, with your mom, I think I've done that too. Like I can say, oh, do you want to split it? I think I've done that in
too, but I
think I've stopped.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
A friend told me this, and I haven't done it because I'll always pay for the first time. But then he says if he doesn't want to see her again, then he'll be like, let's split it. Sort of thing, to sort of make it very
but
clear.
That's super rude. Well, I don't even offer anymore. I kind of try to do my homework about the guy before I go on the date.
But I think because you're already dating guys that have plenty of money, and so
no,
it's like
not always. I've dated guys that don't have plenty of money at all.
Well, it's usually the guy asking the girl on the date. Right?
Yeah,
so I kind of agree.
Whoever,
if he asks you, "Hey, let's go to Giorgio Baldi," then he should be picking up the tab.
Yeah.
What about if she says, "Hey, let's go to Giorgio Baldi"?
Then I think he should pick it up, or worst case scenario, split it.
I think pick it up, period. I'm super honest. If I was out with a guy and he made me... first of all, I would say, no, don't worry. I'll take care of it. Like, very ironically. And I would never want to see that guy again. It would really bother. And again, it's not because of the money. It's because I think we are like, there's a big difference between a date and a guy that is going to freaking sleep with you and be your man and just friends, And I think men need to know that.
What about
you need to treat women. I don't care. Just freaking pay.
All the time. Okay.
Maybe I'll make dinner for you at home and we buy the groceries and we buy the wine. Women do nice gestures too that cost money, but like in public, like if it's a restaurant or a bar, I think the guy should just take care of it.
When I lived in Vietnam and I was dating this girl,
yeah.
I would always go because I'd always want to do sort of what you said, like expensive stuff, and she was on a way less. She was making way less money than I was. So anytime we did something like expensive that would maybe cost like $50 to $100, I'd always pay for it. And then anytime we go for like Boon Cha, which would cost $1, which is actually an amazing experience, she would always pay for that. So it was sort of like I would pay for the things that were kind of like the adventures we'd go on, and she would cover more like the local things sort of thing. But I mean, this was after we were dating for a few months.
Yeah, but I mean, I can kind of relate to that. That sometimes I want to show a nice gesture of paying. So maybe I'll take him to lunch, where it's not
I just think with
expensive.
men and women and like versus same sex couples, it's like apples and oranges. It's tough because females don't understand the male brain as much as like I am a male.
Chicken beer.
Well, not even that, but it's like it's more of a foreign thing. Like men are always like, I don't understand how women operate the female brain. It's so elusive. It's so different. And women feel that about men. It's like I am a man. I understand it, but then also like we're diametrically opposed in a way because like we're dating and it's a restaurant situation. So it's like I have like one foot in both. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's
absolutely.
It depends what you're comfortable with, because I know plenty of women that's like would be like, he was not paying for me. He does not own me. I can pay for myself.
Yeah.
And then I think it's whatever. There's no right way or wrong way. It's whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
If you want
I agree
to pay,
completely.
if that arrangement works, awesome.
And there is now may I ask you guys a question, your opinion? And I ask all my guests that, and it's a big debate. I think a lot of men are very intimidated by successful women, by women that work and have money.
I find it sexy.
Do you agree
I
or
don't.
not?
I'm not. I find it sexy. The only way I find intimidating if she makes way more than me.
Yeah.
And then I know that I can't compete with that lifestyle where I'm at right now.
But it shouldn't be a See, so that means you're being intimidated if a girl is more
It's
successful
practical
than you.
intimidation, though. Like if she wants to go to high-end restaurants, I'm like, I just moved to LA. I'm pursuing acting.
Yeah, then you tell like
I
if
quit
she, that's different than if she really likes you should say, you know what, I completely understand it. This one is on me because I really want to go there.
Right. So
Right?
in that sense, that's fine. But I
yeah.
think it can play into it, like into the dynamic of it. It
Uh-huh.
depends what stage in life you're at too. Like
Yeah.
I used to work in sales in a corporate job in New York, and I made good money. But then I moved out, taught English out in Asia for years, and have been acting. And so it's up and down with finances. And so like if I'm dating someone that has significantly more money and her lifestyle also reflects that, I think it can create issues. She's like, oh, I want to get front row to Rolling Stones.
Yeah,
Those
true.
are $600 tickets. I can't blow $600 on that in one night. Maybe once in a while on an anniversary, but
It's like,
Yeah.
how does YouTube and
yeah, right. How does a picture? I'm not going to want to do that because there's better ways to spend that. So it's going to create a lot of problems, I think, in the
True.
relationship.
But
It
is
is
it because
true.
there's a jealousy, like a subconscious?
No, there's no
It's
jealousy.
a lifestyle that
it's
you
like I
can't
run out of
deliver on.
money. If we're spending $10,000 a month,
Well, what if she didn't want that lifestyle, but she was
Then
just
great.
she was just seen as someone who is the breadwinner of the
awesome.
relationship?
I wouldn't have a problem with that. If we're both pursuing,
As long as you're getting bread, you're happy.
get the bread from the kitchen.
Get that bread.
I think it can create problems.
Yeah, I agree.
It shouldn't theoretically, but I think it could. I think it could be embarrassing.
I think it's a good motivating factor. If I'm dating someone who's very successful, that might make me feel a little bit bad because I'm not where I'm at. I haven't self-actualized myself, but I'm not jealous of them. I want to use that to become a better version of myself, see what they're doing, learn from them so we can get to that
Wow,
same
that's
level.
very mature. Can you please like teach most men out there how to be
You
like
doesn't
that?
follow this advice. This is all bullshit. Come on.
I don't date women, but I can see why. I have some friends that the woman in the relationship makes significantly more money, and it depends on the guy. Some guys might ultimately resent that.
It depends
Yeah.
what stage you're at. Let's say I'm making $150,000 a year and she's making $250,000 a year. That's not going to bother me at all.
No,
More
yeah,
power
that's a
to her.
small
awesome.
difference,
But let's
yeah.
say she's making $100,000 and I'm making $40,000 a year. That's what I mean in terms of the difference of lifestyles. And you commented on this earlier.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a huge difference. You're not going to be able to like have the same lifestyle. I think it's a certain, but if you're making 40 or even 50, like there's going to be a sort of struggle. Amanda's giving me this look like,
Amanda, have you ever
you're really fighting for this point.
have you dated a guy that you felt was intimidated by you in any way?
Yes, you have.
I think so. Like,
What was that? I think so or I don't think so?
I'm not sure.
You're
I
not
guess
sure?
that's a
You've told
no.
me stories, I feel like, of guys that were
Maybe,
sort of...
I mean,
Because
they
it happens
probably-
to me all the freaking time.
I can imagine that, but you are a little bit intimidating, you know, because you are. No, not what No. But what I mean,
Thank you for being
Guys
honest.
keep telling me I suck. Well, you do suck.
no.
I don't think you're
Intim-
intimidating.
I mean,
You're a little bit intimidated.
Not in that sense, but like you're just pursuing. You're like, I'm not afraid of
Confident.
anything, so I'm just gonna do it, and that's like,
Yes.
whoa. So
Yeah.
I don't mean like,
Yes.
oh my
No,
god, I'm
you're right.
afraid of you. I just mean like,
Yeah.
whoa. But I'm
Yeah.
also talking a little bit like you said. You get so motivated by it. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, Kat, go, and I'm be right there. I'm also gonna open an OnlyFans right after this podcast.
We'll throw an OnlyFans party.
yes, yes.
I'm telling you, I was making really good money with the freaking OnlyFans.
I've
I
heard
regret-
That's
that.
what everyone says. Is
And then last month, I put like a poll on my Instagram, like, should I bring OnlyFans back? And like I think 250 people like, yes. And I was doing the math. How much am I going to charge? $50, $60 but
I mean,
that being
Do you
said,
think OnlyFans is sort of peaked, though? Or do you think it's still, like...
it's still pretty popular.
I think it's pretty
I've
popular.
heard that they did something.
Yes, but then they
To
stopped.
their-
They were going to get rid of the porn aspect of it.
Yeah, I was just about to say that they just enforced some kind of law that you can't do pornographic things
Yeah.
on
They
there
got rid
anymore.
of that, I thought.
Mine
didn't
was
even go into
not
effect. I
porn,
think they
by the
canceled
way.
it.
Yeah, no. It
Mine
was
was
more.
never porn, by the way. I didn't go that far, but
Hey, can you split the bill? Sure.
yeah, no, it was just like light, like maybe I would do a photo shoot and then at OnlyFans like show the boobs or something, and it's shocking, but people pay for that.
Wow.
Yeah, and a lot of times.
Well, your friend's ex was making a good amount per month, right?
Yeah, she was making $10K a month.
That's crazy.
Ballpark, but she was going. She was showing clam and all, so she was getting.
Clam?
Yeah, she was getting.
Oh.
She was showing what?
She was
The-
showing
her-
her vagine.
Clam.
Clam.
Yeah, I've never.
You can get it at.
Great
That's a new
moment.
one. Clam.
She was doing it at Connie and Ted's, a little seafood spread. A little, West Hollywood restaurant. Remember?
Yeah, I was like, what?
I did that for Kat because I figured maybe she knew the restaurant.
Which one?
Connie and Ted's on the seafood and steakhouse.
No, I never heard
I've
of
never
it.
been there. Are they still open?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you sure?
They
Oh
closed
my god, you
temporarily.
guys are too funny.
She was doing so. She was
The
doing only.
clam.
She was doing only clams. She was showing it all,
only clams. I love it.
and she was making about 10,000.
Yeah.
And I think really
Was or is?
still is. I think what people, I don't know, it's probably mostly guys that are subscribing to women's OnlyFans. The guys like the personal attention. If you're making a personal video and even saying,
Yes.
"Hey Robert, I hope your day's
Yes.
going well. I've been thinking
Yeah.
about you. Hope you have a great weekend." It's getting that affection
Yes,
and intimacy and
it
feeling
is.
loved that
It
people are willing to pay
is.
for. Because seeing your breast, that's
Yeah.
a quick dopamine rush, but that's not going
Yeah.
to give them that long lasting.
But you know, you're so right.
affection.
I had like one fan that every time I posted a video, just because I would send him like, "Oh, this video is for you. Have a wonderful day." Like he would give me these crazy tips, like $150, $250 for like a photo or something. And obviously he wasn't seeing anything special, but like you said, I think some people are just needy.
I wonder
For
if-
that special.
Yeah.
I wonder though, what the figures would be, because obviously women are very successful on OnlyFans, but I wonder straight men, and not counting gay guys looking at them. I mean, women looking at them. I wonder if there's even a market for that.
I don't know.
I
would
don't
not-
think
I
so.
would not pay for
I would.
Like,
I
how much-
would not pay for that.
You have to hang dong. You have to show it all.
But how much are they really making?
Yeah, but I don't
Probably
think they
not
make that
I
much.
guarantee.
They
Yeah,
don't
we
make as
can-
much because men drive the adult entertainment industry. They're the audience. Men have more of that sexual animalistic drive, more so
Yeah.
than
It's
women.
like I wouldn't
Yeah.
pay
Don't
for
say
it
that's
because
not true. We all know it's
I
true.
wouldn't
'cause
either, Amanda.
We
And-
have Chippendales, and then we have a strip club on every single street corner in every city,
But that's just
basically,
Yeah.
because what
and then a
society
handful of
allows.
Chippendales. And
I don't think men are more sexually.
there's not a demand for it. Women don't. Do you want to see a dick pic of a flaccid penis?
Of course not.
Here's my ball bag.
I don't wanna
But,
see
like,
any-
You want to
Look.
see?
But what's the equivalent of that
But-
to women
okay,
then?
but- Hey.
Honestly, I don't want to see any penis anywhere unless I'm in bed with the guy. I want to
Would
see
you rather
my
would you rather get a dick
guy.
pic, or would you rather get a heartfelt message tailored to you, and maybe it's of sexual nature, but it's him?
that one.
Yeah,
Exactly,
of
because they want to
course,
be
yeah.
stimulated here.
Yeah.
Guys want
Yeah.
to be stimulated down
Yeah.
there.
Would you rather get a dick pic or a heartfelt message?
both?
You get one. You get one.
Voiceover. Send me the photo and give me a voice.
Dear Steve, this holiday season, I just want you and Mr. Little Jim.
Honestly,
Have
I
a
think
nice
Yeah.
time.
But I mean, I think also not to be that one, but it's so easy to get laid if you're a woman.
Oh yeah,
Or a gay.
of
So, I mean,
course.
if we would-
yeah,
If I want to see a penis, I could
yeah,
literally download Tinder, swipe,
yeah.
and then go for it.
exactly
for
so-
sure.
And I know I sound cocky, but
No, but you're right. But you know,
No
and
pun
that's
intended.
one. Yeah, but that's one tough thing too about these jobs that we do. It gives people the wrong impression. Like most men, when they meet me, they think I'm this party girl, that I'm super promiscuous, that I go out with a bunch of men every night. They don't understand the difference. Like from my personal life, I'm like the most boring bitch in the world. I sleep with my dogs. I literally sleep with my
This
dogs.
is your OnlyFans.
Yeah, exactly. People think I'm like 9 o'clock at night. I'm like in bed with my dogs, and I date once in a blue moon because I'm super
It's like
picky.
a topless photo of you reading the dictionary.
Yeah,
She's hot, but she's so boring.
yeah, exactly. But they listen to the podcast and they see the pictures and everything. They're like, when they meet me, they think, oh, easy sex. So that's a tough component to it as well.
that's actually really interesting that you mentioned that, because it feels like if you're open to discuss sex as a woman,
yeah.
people think you
You're a whore.
love sex and you want to have sex
they
all the
think
time.
You're a whore.
And you just
yeah. If
sex,
guys
sex,
talk
sex.
about sex, it's super normal. But when girls, right, we
Yeah.
talk
What about amongst each other? Like when there's no men present? Do you still feel like you don't feel like...
I've done that in the past. I used to talk about like my sexual experience with some girlfriends, and I decided it's not a good idea. Like it should be a little more private. I don't know. Do you talk
Yeah.
about your sex life?
No.
I feel like
either.
if there's a very funny story, but then if you're really just describing every detail, then what is sacred between you and your
Exactly.
Yeah,
partner?
exactly.
Yeah,
if something
exactly.
happens,
It's like when your
he
girlfriends know
felt-
what his
Yeah.
penis looks like,
I
knows how he
know.
has sex, knows his
This is
pubic
what
hair
I do,
looks like.
guys. Okay, I'm gonna lay it all out here to everybody that's listening. If I'm dating someone, nobody knows because it's like, oh, this is going really good. I want to keep it to myself. This is fantastic. If it's destroyed and I'm not dating the guy anymore, he sucks.
yes,
Guess
then
what? I
you can
tell
talk
a
about
story on
it.
the podcast.
Yes.
Exactly. Burn the bridge
Yeah.
down. 'cause
Oh,
it's
I was
already,
dating this guy and blah 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 blah.
Yes.
He did this.
Do
and he
you,
did
do
that.
That
you
was
have
like-
any crazy stories of men you've maybe dated who had like strange fetishes?
Yes, I do, and I never did a fetish episode.
Really?
I have not, because my fetish episode is really heavy duty. So I've been wondering if I should do it or not. But yes, I dated a guy that had some crazy, crazy fetishes. And I don't mind it. I do think it can spice, because I'm super liberal when it comes to sex. I don't know if you are.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I'm like
depend-
super open-minded to
I'm
everything.
libertarian with sex.
Okay. I think whatever makes you happy.
I want to fuck Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, basically.
no.
But yeah, so he had some pretty heavy duty fetishes. I don't know if
Like
I would,
S&M.
That's not heavy
SNL.
duty.
I mean,
pretty.
That's okay.
Yeah. What I guess
That's
what do we
okay.
define?
What do you mean
as
heavy duty?
Yeah.
Like high heel on his
Like,
balls, or
Yeah, some disgusting
Farting on a
stuff that I don't. I
Farting
would
on a
not
cake.
do it
Oh,
again.
is
Cake
it like
farts,
something
yes,
like?
yes.
Did he want you to pee on him? I heard about those things.
Yes.
Something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Okay, then I get what you mean
Golden
with like
showers.
heavy duty.
Yeah, it was like a little too much. He
Yeah.
was obsessed with a lot
I
of.
always feel like when
different
someone asks for
things.
that, it's like the fountain soda drinks from a bar with like Coke and Diet Coke. It's like, if I have blood in my penis, I can't just turn it onto urine right away. And also, I
Yeah.
don't want to do that.
You know what? Speaking a little bit of a segue, but I saw someone on my Instagram feed who's in the spiritual community is currently doing urine therapy, which I
Drinking it.
yeah,
Oh no.
which
Oh.
I haven't heard. You're nodding like it's a thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah, you can get it on Grindr. It's pretty cheap.
No, seriously though. Like I feel.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Chemo. It's an chemo alternative.
Oh,
I don't, but
God.
it's not actually. I
Wait,
mean, it's
so
literally
wait.
drinking toxic water. It's your body what it's filtering
Yeah,
out. How
because when
can
you
that-
pee, that's
Yeah.
toxins.
How is that ever a good
released
idea
from
to
your body?
drink?
Don't put it in you.
I
again.
know. I'm very confused by why people think this is a thing.
I don't know how it works, but maybe there are some nutrients that you lose, and there's some concentrate.
But you're gaining
of
more
it.
toxins.
I don't
mean,
know
your
about
kidneys
that.
literally drain. They clean out the water, and then that's what your pee is. It's your body. It's like trying to eat poop. It's like you would.
Oh
I'm sure
my
there's some
God.
nutrients in there. I'm like, nope, it's been digested.
So you draw the line at those type of bodily fluids. Do you have requests from other guys that want to be dominated? They want like accent
I
play.
would
or
not
something.
I would not want to be with a guy that would want to be dominated, because I like guys that have the type A personality that dominate.
Same.
Actually, a guy on one of the. Do you know the League? The League is this. I gotta send you an invitation.
Uh-huh.
It's the coolest dating app. It's like a high-end dating app.
Is it?
The
It's an Ivy. It's
League.
Ivy League
Oh.
dating app, right?
Yeah, so you meet like super cool people.
That sounds awesome.
Yes, I'll
There's
send you an
another one.
invitation.
That's
What was the other
that's the
one?
thing, because I
Riot?
can't be
Riot.
on normal dating apps because everyone
Oh,
is
yeah,
just
no, it's
boring
crap.
and they want to
Yeah,
split
it's
the
crap.
bill or whatever.
Exactly. I'll hook you up with a matchmaker.
Split the tuition.
Yes.
I didn't even finish the matchmaking story. I went on two crappy matchmaking dates. I'm waiting for the third one. The guy never called me, and now another matchmaking service called me
Really?
here from LA. Yeah,
How
if
much
I
do
want to
you
meet
pay
some,
for
I do, me.
You don't, only the men pay.
Of course. Hello, I would never pay. I don't
course,
even
of
pay
course,
for
what a question.
Bumble. Do you pay for Bumble?
No.
Can
Me
women pay for
neither.
Bumble? It's an
Yes,
option? Okay.
it's an option. And I have a best guy friend, and he keeps telling me, "Oh, you only get crap because you're not paying. Because if you pay, your batch is gonna be better."
I don't believe that.
Me neither.
I've
I'm not
noticed a
gonna
difference.
pay. Yeah.
I paid this month, and you definitely notice the difference.
Wait, you get better matches. if you
Yes.
Do you
See?
pay?
Yes, you do.
That's what my friend told me. He's like, "You are being a cheapskate. You need to pay the freaking fee, or they keep sending you the trash."
The only thing that's feature that's worth paying, in my opinion, is just to see who's already liked you and limit the amount of time you're swiping, and then you can just see and just go no,
But here's the
then move
problem.
on instead of just doing
Here's
this
the
all the
problem.
time.
Most women aren't doing that because they're doing what you're doing, what a guy would do, right? They're just seeing who's in their thing, and then they're swiping off of that a lot of the time.
We cannot see who likes us.
No.
But
Yeah,
but
if
the
you
but
pay.
the But
But
Yeah,
not-
but
we
no-
are on the
no women are
non-paying-
paying.
Yeah. we're
How
not
long do you
gonna
think you spend
pay.
a day swiping? Are you
Oh no, I do it maybe once every 2-3 weeks for like a couple minutes.
Zero,
I don't
because
have
I have
time
given up.
for this bullshit.
given up?
Yeah.
I've given up on the dating apps because
I'm
I
gonna
give up.
Remind me seriously.
Yes,
This
please.
league is super cool.
I love
yeah.
to try something new.
Yeah.
And if not, send one of those
And again,
matchmakers
the matchmaker,
over. Yeah.
the guys pay a lot of money, like 30, 40, 50 grand.
What?
Yes.
I need to get into
Because,
matchmaking.
but that's the cool thing, because these are men that they want a relationship.
Yeah, because that's what's
They're
so interesting
settled.
about it.
Yes, they're settled, and they go through a screening process, and they're like, okay, it's one of the most important decisions of my life. I'm gonna pay for it. Obviously, like, these guys don't have time, or they don't want to, because in defense of the man, these dating apps have a lot of crap in terms of women.
Yeah.
A lot of gold diggers, a lot of prostitutes, a lot of girls that just want their money. So yeah, these guys, they pay and they tell the matchmaker, figure it out for me. So they do all the screening for the guys. They ask you a million questions before they match you. I mean, I haven't been successful with it yet, but the process has been super cool. So yeah, I need to hook you up.
That's
Could we-
actually
Yeah.
sounds
Could we
so interesting
Get
because
Amanda on the matchmaker and film the whole thing?
Well, I can hook you guys up to
Well, there's
interview
a show, right?
one.
Millionaire Matchmaker.
Yeah, Tammy, which is the matchmaker I interviewed this year, she's super cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure she would love to be interviewed by you guys. And that's the thing I'm doing. She said she would send me on dates, and I'm documenting everything. So yeah, we could do the same. We could do
That's
it together.
awesome.
Let's
Yes,
get-
let's
let's
do it together.
introduce
Let's
Amanda
do
to
a
it.
documentary about this.
As much as
Amanda finding love in LA.
no,
Yeah,
Amanda and Kat
yeah.
finding love.
the first 2 dates were horrible from this lady.
Uh-huh.
And they both talk trash about her, by the way.
Oh.
And I told her, because I felt bad for her, because they're like, I don't even like this service. They only send me out these crappy dates. I can't believe I'm here with you. It's the first nice one. And they were talking trash about it. And I'm like, then why are you, why
Why
are you here?
still here?
I
Yeah.
don't like, don't do that. Yeah, don't play this game with me. Like, don't talk trash
Yeah.
about my friend.
No.
So, and I'm still about to go on the third one. So we'll see. I
So
don't know.
how much credence do you put into horoscopes, Enneagram numbers? Do you subscribe to any of that, or
No,
you just go off of the vibe?
I do not.
So when you're telling the matchmaker what you want, it's more
Literally what she wants, not some.
Yeah,
literally,
no,
I
I'm not
men
like,
who
I
did.
think
Well-
it's honestly super silly. And I have girlfriends that do that. Oh, I want tall, thin, not a Gemini, a Cancer, da. And I'm like, seriously, I think you need to want what works for your life. In my case, I told you, I'm super honest. I want somebody ambitious. I want somebody that has their shit together.
Would anyone, just to be clear, would anyone here, let's say you meet someone and it feels awesome, but then you find out that it's like a Gemini or something? And
No,
you,
that
would
would
that
not-
would that be
I
like a
would not
deal breaker
care.
for
No.
anyone?
Would
Not
it
at
be to
all.
you?
No.
To me
It depends.
neither.
It could only be a deal breaker if they were super into it and this was going to bother them. I remember when I was in India and I was dating a girl, because I don't care what the religion is, none of that. As long as they're like a good person,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
number one. And I was dating a girl who was Muslim, and I'm Jewish. And I didn't care, but like I was like, when we started dating, I was like, hey, there's like something you should know. And she's like what? And I was like I'm Jewish, and she's like, oh, I don't care. Like, as long as you weren't Hindu, then, that'd be
Aw.
and I was like, what? Like, whoa.
Really?
Last year, I dated a Cancer. He was a Sagittarius, just a really toxic guy. Cancer joke.
I don't get it.
You know,
get
what
it?
You know what a Cancer is? Like, if you're a Cancer, it's like that person was a real cancer to his basketball team. So it's like it means they're
Oh.
a Cancer can also mean like they're just a very toxic person.
Yeah.
So it was a play on a Cancer.
Well,
It was a real Cancer, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Sagittarius, wait, I'm confused.
I'm a
with the signs.
Sagittarius.
I think
Sagittarius-
officially. Sorry, go ahead.
you go.
No, I was just gonna say. Obviously, it's cheesy, but it's true. I think we need to be looking at ethics and values.
Yeah, it's the most
To
important thing.
me, that's like if I find out
Oh,
the
yeah.
person is a liar,
Yeah.
a 1,000,000% deal breaker, because a liar is
But he's a
gonna lie.
Sagittarius. Like,
Yeah, like
You know?
yeah, I know, whatever, out.
Yeah.
He murdered that
So I
person,
want
but he's a
somebody who's like
Cancer.
100% honest.
Would you date a bisexual guy?
I've dated. believe it or not, I dated a couple of bisexual guys.
I dated those guys too.
And I don't, like I
Same.
said, I don't have, and
Same girl.
yeah, I went on a bunch of dates with an architect, and I noticed, like the first date, I'm like, okay, just freaking tell me you're gay.
He drew a
You're bi-
map of your pussy.
Like on the sixth, yeah, it took like 6 dates for him to tell me, and I'm like, go for it. You know,
Was he
life
gay
is
or
so
bisexual?
short. I think he's confused, but I think, well, obviously he was being bisexual. I don't know if he's going to end up just being with men or both, or I don't care. But to me, the reason why I broke up with him is because of the lie. Because all our dates, he kept lying to me and lying to me and lying to me. Because I asked him, you know.
Right. So if you're being deceptive, then that's
Exactly.
obviously
To me, that's an
unacceptable.
issue. Again, like sexually, if you feel comfortable, if it's between two consenting adults and it makes you happy.
That I remember that was like one of my worst nightmares when I was younger, to be, you know, having a boyfriend, having a great life, and then secretly here's just like sneaking away and having sex with men, because I know
this
that there
happened
are
to you?
no
There are a lot of men that
but
do that.
It has never happened to me.
lot of
Yes,
men
but I
that
know
do
it's so many
that.
people that do that, and I really don't
Yes.
want that to happen.
Would you
to
be
me.
more bothered if he snuck away and slept with a guy, or snuck away and slept with a woman? Like, which would hurt you more?
Ooh, I don't know.
To me, the woman for sure.
Yeah,
Because guys offering
guys have
something-
something
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
have.
true.
But
But-
if the guy was cheating on me with someone else,
Would you ever be open to an open relationship?
I just don't want it for me.
What if he wanted that though?
Then go do
So
it
no.
somebody else. I
Yeah.
think I
so
want.
you wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't, because that's not what I want right now in my life. I want a guy that's with me all the freaking time. You know, I want a partner. It's not just sex. It's a lot of things. It's traveling, making plans. You know.
Exactly. I think a lot of women do not want an open relationship because as you get older, you want companionship
Yeah.
and you don't want something that's just going to
Yeah.
drop off
Exactly.
at a moment's
An
notice.
open relationship to me is called casual dating.
Mm-hmm.
So if the guy is with me and with somebody else tomorrow, it's like, and I've dated guys like that I found out they were dating a bunch of other girls. I'm like, go for it. It's just not what I want right now.
What about threesomes? What if they say, I committed to you, but we can...
I've done a gazillion
But what if you...
threesomes.
You have? Have
I'm
you?
actually.
You never did?
What about a fourth?
I have.
With
Wait,
I
whoa.
did that too.
Please
I
start.
did
What
that
about-
about
too.
you? Hang on. Wait. When did you do one? You've
is-
never
this is
talked
why
about
she
this.
was late today.
Dun, dun, dun,
Wait,
dun.
Amanda, when did this happen?
We put Amanda on the spot.
Wait, recently?
No.
It's not that big of
Okay.
a deal.
I don't think
It's not recent.
So
It's
would-
like every guy's fantasy.
in LA?
No,
No.
in the
Okay.
world,
Sweden.
any man. Oh,
With-
wait.
with two guys or a guy and a girl.
2 guys.
I never did that.
Oh.
Devil's
Yeah,
threesome.
I never did that. I did threesomes for my guy with another girl. 2 guys. It's kind of on my bucket list, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it was just to try it. It wasn't that great, but I wasn't, it was just
Yeah.
a test.
I
think.
never did that.
Both of them were French.
See?
Tell the matchmaker.
What does that have to
check
do with
out.
anything?
Yeah. That one I think
Hello,
it's easier
hello,
to find on
Amanda.
Tinder.
Yes.
More open-minded.
Yeah, Europeans, I feel like, are
Very
more open-minded.
comfortable,
Here, there's
yes.
a lot more
So much repression here.
homophobia,
In-
biphobia,
There is.
repression.
Oh my God, a tit. We can't show our kids.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
And I tell you guys one thing, and I don't know if you agree with me, and I'm sorry, but most Americans are super uptight about sex.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, yeah.
Men and women. Women are super frustrated. They're embarrassed
Yeah.
to talk about it, to say what they want in bed. They listen to this silly conversation like, oh my God,
Yeah.
Kat. But and men the same. Most, not saying all, please guys, there's exceptions, but most men are super uptight in bed, bad in bed. Americans in general are just not good.
Americans,
Lack of education.
Americans are way more comfortable with violence than nudity. It's like, we don't want to
Yes.
see your tits unless you have an AR-15.
I
on them.
know.
We can talk about this forever, but I think we have to sum it up a little bit. So, Kat,
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
It was
coming.
so much fun.
It was
You
so
guys
fun
are
having
amazing.
you here. Really. And so, where can people find your book if we
Yes,
start there?
thank you. My
Here it
book
is.
is on Amazon and Kindle. It's a Kindle bestseller. Woohoo! And it's a true story. And that's why I wrote it, because at the end of the day, I think even when we joke around, right, about dating, about relationships, about love, about abuse, we need to send a message out there. So like, I think the best thing we can do for ourselves and for everybody else is like, just tell your freaking story. At the end of the day, you just need to be happy.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yellow Roses in June.
Yes.
Check
Thank you
it
so
out,
much.
guys. And
social media as well? Where can people find you?
Social media, Kat Zammuto. Zammuto.
Kat Zammuto.
I had such I have such a problem to pronounce names.
You do?
I don't know why.
That's the
You
best
did
thing.
great.
Best thing you got from that marriage is a cool last name.
Right? I know. I don't think I'm ever. A lot of people ask me, "Oh, you're gonna go back to yours?" You're gonna. I'm like, nah. I've been Kat Zammuto for a long time, almost 20 years. That's it.
It's almost like a mob boss's wife.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their Zammutos were from a mob family in Sicily.
Yeah,
there are a lot of mobsters in
I'm a
Sicily.
D'Amico, and we fucking hate the Zammutos.
There you go.
Those motherfuckers. Kat, thank you for coming on.
Thank you guys. So
much.
I hope next time I see you guys on my podcast, Kat on the
Yes.
Loose, it'll be a lot of fun. Thank you. You guys
Let's
are
do it.
amazing.
Okay, guys. Bye.
The joke was that everybody I was meeting and passing through and getting to know, they're like, tell us more about your adventure. Tell us what your plan is. And I was like, I've got to get to LA. I've got to get to LA for a dentist appointment.
Dentists are important.
I would go into the library as a kid in my elementary school and literally go stand in a corner and fucking read out loud like a psycho. And I still do that to this day.
I
Really? So
love
No,
that.
I don't like stand in a corner anymore.
Yeah,
How long did it take you to get expelled from your school?